Welcome to episode 60 of Take Over Tea. I have screwed this up 3 times already. I am not going to restart, even though I still cannot say episode 60. I don't know what it is about episode 60 that keeps making me trip up over the words, but we're not starting this again. I'm completely changing how I was going to do the intro. I was going to make a joke about, haha, listen to the squeaky chair. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay. So, look, right? Okay. This is a solo episode. Like last week, I don't know what's going to happen. So, we'll just see. As you can see, I guess that's one way to put it. Yeah, that'll work. I got a haircut. Also, I didn't fix my lights up. I did a longer than normal sound check and forgot to actually fix things up as I was doing it. Anyway, yes, haircut. Got that. What time is it? An hour ago. I realized my hair was getting a little too long, and I decided to fix it. I know I got the exact same haircut that I always get. Actually, I'll show you if you're curious and you want, I don't know, you want to be weird and you want to get the exact same haircut as me for some weird reason. Obviously, you could show a picture of my head. The other alternative is I could show you the picture that I use to get the exact same haircut every single time. Where is it? No, that's me looking up scam numbers. Here it is. This dude. If you look up like simple male haircuts, you'll find it at some point. This is what I show this, like the barber this picture. I'm like, do that, and then I get this, which works out. Yeah, I think it looks good. When I was a kid, I used to just get like clippers over my head, like the exact same setting. I think like number 2, just all over my head. Worked out. It's certainly a cheap way to do haircuts. The reason why it was like that is because I was living in rural Queensland at the time, and I don't even know where the nearest hairdresser or barber would have been. It would have at least been like a half an hour or hour drive. So my mum decided that she wanted to cut my hair when I was a kid, and my mum, not being a hairdresser, decided to go with the easiest route, which is just clippers all over. This isn't clippers all over, but it looks like an evolved form of that, which I like. I know I should probably try out a different haircut at some point. Actually, this was like a grid of 4 pictures. Okay, I don't like any of the other pictures in here. Here we go. I'll show you. This is great for the audio, guys. So, yeah, the one in the top left, I feel like that's like the big douche haircut, like where you have the, where you have like basically the entire sides completely shaved off, and then your bald side head gets like faded into like a bit of a top bit. I think it looks really dumb. It's not as bad as like the comb over that a lot of people have, where it's just like it's like 20-year-olds getting a haircut that a 70-year-old would have, where they shave the sides off, but then it's a comb over. That's what it is. It is a comb over. And I don't understand why there are people in their 20s who just get comb overs. I'll see if I can find it. Sure, you probably know what it is. Comb over. Let's see if we can find. Yeah, you just look up comb over and you'll find it. It looks dumb. What is this? How you know that you're how you know if you're a douchebag on YouTube, you have this haircut? I don't know of a single YouTuber who has that haircut. Actually, wait. There is one. I was gonna say a single YouTuber who has that haircut who's not a douchebag. The camera guy. The camera guy that I'm forgetting the name of. Peter McKinnon. Yes, Peter McKinnon. He seems like a chill dude. Does he have that haircut? I'm pretty sure he does. I don't want to throw Peter McKinnon under the bus. Peter McKinnon. Okay, he's had that haircut. Yeah, he's had the haircut, but he does many things with his hair. Okay. But he's also not a douchebag, so that's fair. That wasn't the way I was planning to start this. That works out, though. Also, the other thing, so the dude that I got my haircut done by, different guy than normal. Usually, I'm not a person who goes there who's like, I want a specific person to cut my hair. It just happens to be that the guy I get my hair cut by also works there full time. So he just happens to be there most of the time I get my hair cut. And most of the time I go there he recognizes me, so he will come up and like be the one who wants to cut my hair. That's fine. The new guy I got my haircut done by, apparently he's been there for 8 months or so. I don't know if he's worked at another barber shop before, but at this specific one, I'll give him a shout out. They're Barber Boys. Barber Boys is a cool place. If you're ever in Adelaide, go check out Barber Boys. I'll show you their website. But this dude, fine on the hair. The hair is perfectly fine. I don't have anything to complain about. I'm sure my sister will find something too because she likes to do that. I guess maybe they're in more than just South Australia? Anyway, it doesn't matter. They're in South Australia, and that's all that matters to me. Yeah, okay, they are in South Australia. Okay. I guess they're not anywhere else. Anyway, where they're located is not important. They're located near me, and that's important to me. But he got the hair fine, and then the beard. I usually don't get the beard trimmed up when I go to a barber, just because a lot of the time they cut it in a way that I'm not a big fan of. Like, they'll shape it to be very round, whereas I prefer more of like a flat, squarey cutoff. But he did the round thing, which is fine. I can clean that up myself. The thing that annoyed me is this side here. He made like the top bit up here, like really short, and I've fixed it now. But this side here, he basically didn't even cut. He like trimmed off like the really long bits, and then it's still really long though. It's just like the whiskery bits that sit off to the side. But like the majority of it was still way too long. And I didn't realize this until I got in the car. I was like, wait, why can I like pull it this side? Because the other side definitely couldn't. It's only like $15 to get the beard trimmed up, so it's not a big deal, but even so, I am paying for the beard to be done, so I would like the beard to be done well. And the normal guy I go to definitely does it well. I would say it's sort of like getting a tattoo. I wouldn't get a tattoo from someone who doesn't have tattoos, and you probably shouldn't get your beard cut by someone who doesn't have a beard. Maybe that's just me being, I don't know, a bit of a boomer about it, but I think it's a good position to hold. Like, I wouldn't, if you apply it to other things, like, I wouldn't want, say, for example, my computer tech to not own a computer, for example. Like, if you're going to be doing a job like that, I'd sort of expect that you sort of embrace the job. Obviously, other jobs, it doesn't matter, but when it's something that sort of specialized, I think if the person doesn't live their entire life in a way where they show they actually enjoy it, you sort of have to question how good of a job they're actually going to do. I'm sure there are really good tattoo artists out there who have no tattoos whatsoever, but it sort of makes me feel a little bit weird. And I feel like most people sort of have the same, at least most people I know, sort of have the same mentality when it comes to tattoo artists. But when it comes to other things, maybe not. Maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. I very well could be. I don't know. I had McDonald's for lunch. I don't usually go to McDonald's. My regular order at McDonald's, because I am a child, is 24 nuggets. So I don't know if other McDonald's do this outside of Australia, but Australia has this thing where you can pay, it used to be $10, but over time they've slowly creeped the price up. It is now, I think, $11.95 for 24 nuggets, which obviously is way more expensive than just buying a 24 pack of, I think they use, remember correctly from when I worked there, Ingles? I don't know. I think it's either Steggles or the other chicken brand in Australia. Anyway, where was I going with this? Right. Regular order, I'm a child, I buy chicken nuggets because chicken nuggets are good. And the sauces I get are ketchup, mustard, sweet and sour, and barbecue. I presume other countries have different sauces you can get at McDonald's. I don't know how different it is. I know Australia likes to do things weirdly, like we have Hungry Jack's here, which is Burger King in anywhere else that has Burger King, but for whatever reason, I actually don't know. Let's see if we can find out the story of Burger King in Australia. I've heard that, like, the reason why they changed the name back was because, like, they just didn't do well in Australia after they changed the name for some reason. Or maybe there's more to it than that. Why it's hard to find Burger King in Australia. The Burger King franchise in Australia, Hungry Jack's. Okay, that's on the Hungry Jack's website. Why is Burger King called Hungry Jack's in Australia? Let's find out from Cora. I don't know the real reason for the Hungry Jack's name, but I suspect it was because of naming rights. I was involved in the launch of Hungry Jack's in Adelaide, oh, sure, okay, in the 80s, and a big advertising campaign was organised to announce the grand opening, but nobody from Hungry Jack's ever gave me an explanation of why we weren't launching Burger King. So I assumed that as a burger, so I, so that I, as- so I assumed that as Burger King wanted to come out in direct competition to McDonald's, they wanted to be perceived as different, so getting a name right was very important. To my mind, there were two possibilities. Someone in Australia owned the rights to the Burger King name only in Australia and wasn't prepared to sell those rights to Burger King when they decided to set up in Australia. I don't know, maybe that's the case, but I feel like Burger King would have the money, like any level of money that this person wanted. Like, who else would want the name Burger King besides the Burger King franchise? Like, no one else is going to try to buy that off of them. I'm sure, like, you could probably push them up to like multiple millions of dollars, probably. But I don't know, maybe they just wanted to hold on to it and then just say, like, I own the Burger King name because lol, that's funny. And research Burger King did in Australia prior to setting up in Australia told them the name Burger King had the wrong feel for Australia, so the decision was made to come up with another name. If this is the case, they would have used research to find the alternative, Hungry Jack's. And I think that also might very well be part of it as well, because like most people in Australia don't call McDonald's unless you're like from some poshy area. Like most people I know call McDonald's Macca's. So if you have direct competition to Macca's be called Hungry Jack's, it sort of makes sense because Macca and Jack's, there's like a similar sort of, it's not a rhyme. I don't know what you'd call it if like part of the word sounds similar. I don't know if there's a term for that actually. Maybe. If there's a linguist listening to this, let me know, because I have no idea. Maybe that could very well be part of it, just sort of lining them up as direct competition by having similar-ish sounding names. I don't know. Maybe there's more to it than that, but I've sort of heard this rumor for so long, and I've never heard like a proper explanation for why it's the case. There's always just been these like different answers, like there was maybe a lawsuit and someone owned it and all these other things. But oh wait, Burger King Corporation versus Hungry Jack's Pty Limited. We've found a case. Hungry Jack's became the Australian franchisee of Burger King in 1971. By 1996, it was the largest franchise outside of the United States. Blah, 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 don't care. Oh, so... Wait, what? In 1996, Burger King purported to terminate the agreement between itself and Hungry Jack's on the basis that Hungry Jack's had not opened the required number of stores. Hungry Jack's then sued Burger King, alleging that Burger King had no right to terminate the agreement, and also alleging the validity of the new extension agreements. Hungry Jack's was successful at trial, the trial finding that there had been breaches of contract and breaches of fiduciary duty on Burger King's part. Awarding Hungry Jack's nearly 71 million Australian dollars in damages. What the hell? Is there way more to this story than I actually knew about? So that was the Wikipedia page for Hungry Jack's. Let's see if there's more on that. We're going to follow this topic as far as it goes. I'm sure I could talk about other things that might be more interesting, but you know what? We're going to just talk about Burger King and Hungry Jack's for now. Hungry Jack's Pty Limited is an Australian fast food franchise of the Burger King Corporation. It is wholly owned subsidiary of Competitive Foods Australia. What the world is Competitive Foods Australia? Competitive Foods Australia. So they own Hungry Jack's and also KFC. Competitive Foods. What an odd name. I wonder where that one came from. That's probably a whole nother story. So, history of Burger King in Australia. A Hungry Jack's restaurant in Wagga Wagga, New South Wales. I just realized I'm not showing you this. Here is a Hungry Jack's restaurant in Wagga Wagga, Wagga, New South Wales. That's that's harder to say than it should be. When Burger King moved to expand its operations into Australia, it found that its business name was already trademarked by a takeaway food shop in Adelaide. Yes, Adelaide strikes again. Okay. I love that. As a result, Burger King provided the Australian franchisee Jack Cohen with a list of possible alternative names derived from pre-existing trademarks already registered by Burger King and its then corporate parent Pillsbury that could be used to name the Australian restaurants. Cohen selected Hungry Jack brand name, one of Pillsbury's US pancake mixture products. Okay, and slightly changed the name to a possessive form by adding an apostrophe and S to form the new Hungry Jacks. The Australian franchise of Burger King Corporation was established in Innaloo, Perth, under the auspices of Cohen's new company, Hungry Jack's Pty Limited. By the end of its first decade of operation, Hungry Jack's expanded to 26 stores in 3 states. In October 1981, the company opened its first New South Wales store in the Sydney Central Business District on the corner of Liverpool and George Street. In 1976, the chain entered Victoria by purchasing 11 stores from the ailing Wendy's hamburger chain, later converting them to Hungry Jack's. Wendy's still does exist in Australia. It's just, from what I understand, Wendy's in Australia is very different from Wendy's in America. Anyway, let's find out about this story right here. Where's that gonna take us to? Worldcat.org. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a research paper. I have no interest in reading that. So, some lad in Adelaide, of all fucking places, owned the name Hungry Jack's and was like, nah, fam, I'm good. Oh, sorry, owned the name Burger King. Was like, nah, fam, I'm good. That's awesome. So Jack Cohen is okay. He's a Canadian Australian businessman, an entrepreneur, with a long-term involvement in franchise fast food chains in Australia and Canada. Cohen bought KFC to Australia and founded and owns Hungry Jack's. And he's been in control of Domino's. He was an investor in 10 Network. Wow, this dude probably has a shitload of money. So that is the story of Hungry Jack's, apparently. Some fucking lad in Adelaide owned the name Burger King, and I guess he didn't want to sell it, or maybe they weren't going to offer him enough or something. I don't know. Surely they could have offered him enough, or maybe it was just easier for them to just be like, fuck it, we're just going to go with a different name. Because now it sort of makes people like me talk about it. Like, why the fuck is this franchise not named Burger King? That would make so much sense. Like, we do have, what's the donut chain called? America. I'm just gonna look up America donut chain. Why am I forgetting it? Krispy Kreme, yes, that one. Like a couple of years back, we got Krispy Kreme here. I don't know why people freaked out. It's just like, okay, we already have donut places here anyway. Like, they're just going to be more Australian donuts, and it turned out, yes, it was more Australian donuts. I'm not a big donut fan anyway. Like, especially like cinnamon donuts. Cinnamon donuts are way too sweet for me. I'm not a big fan of like desserty style stuff. Like, I'll eat it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to buy it, and there's not really much I'm going to eat. Like, if you hand me, say, like a slice of carrot cake, for example, I'm probably going to eat, like, 2 or 3 bites just because I really cannot eat that much of it. I used to be really into sweets as a kid, though. Like, I would drink... Maybe this is why I'm not into sweet stuff now. Because I would drink, like, multiple bottles of Mountain Dew a week. Like, it probably doesn't even sound... It's probably rookie numbers for some people, but I would drink, like, 3 or 4, like, 1.5 to 2 liter bottles of Mountain Dew a week, which is not very good for you, and is worse for you because Australia sort of phased out the regular version of Mountain Dew and then only has Mountain Dew energized. Like, you can still get the regular version from like American import stores, but when it comes to just the regular version, when that phased out, I realized when that phased out because my like 14-year-old energy level just fucking shot through the roof. 14-year-olds do not need to have energy drinks. I don't understand why they don't even, like, most of them don't even taste good. Like, why would you just drink Red Bulls and Mothers? Like, there's better drinks out there. You're 14, you don't need more energy. If anyone needs energy, I remember who made this joke. I'm gonna steal their joke though. Like, the people you should be giving energy drinks to are the people in, like, nursing homes playing bingo. Those are the people who need more energy, not someone who is barely coming out of being a child, just hitting the point where they are finally starting to notice their voice crack. That's the sort of person that does not need more energy. How have we gone on 20 minutes talking about bullshit energy drinks and Hungry Jacks? I don't fucking know. Speaking of bullshit, though, I'm gonna show you the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. When someone sent this to me, I was like, no, this can't be real. This is not a real thing. So have you heard of 2B2T, the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft, as FitMC would say? So something amazing happened. Stop showing me damn eToro ads. Something hilarious happened on this server very recently. So, and every single time I hear it, I burst out laughing because you just listen to FitMC's voice just with basically like no emotion like FitMC normally has, just saying this. So I'm going to show you something. I had to put my earphones in so you wouldn't hear it over my speakers. Should be able to hear this. Let's see.
Built with at least
here we go. Okay. Just get ready for something beautiful.
This is getting absolutely ridiculous. Over the past few months, a group of Japanese Minecraft players have been working in secret to construct a giant portrait of the VTuber Usada Pekora on the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft.
Now, if that... I've heard that like 10 fucking times, and it doesn't make me stop laughing, or I can't stop laughing any single time I hear it. It is so fucking funny just listening to FitMC. Listen to FitMC say that fucking name and say that sentence. I don't know what is so funny about it, but it is absolutely amazing. But this is actually a really wholesome story though. Like, I was expecting this to just be like a big April Fool's joke or something like that, but no. What actually happened is a bunch of, for whatever reason, 2B2T, which is a Minecraft anarchy server. If you don't know what an anarchy server is, basically it's a Minecraft server where there's basically no rules. Like, there's a couple of very little things, but you can run hacked clients if you want. The admins don't really care. So what happened basically is for some reason, maybe some Japanese Minecraft YouTuber or something covered it, but 2B2T suddenly had like an influx of Japanese players on it. For whatever reason, it just became popular on Japanese YouTube. And there were a couple of players there who just, because they'd never played an anarchy server before, had no idea what to really expect from an anarchy server. And this server is notoriously cruel to new players. If you don't know what you're doing, you will be destroyed. They will ruin your life. Basically, there was one person on the server who's a really big fan of Usada Pekora, and when he found out all these Japanese people were joining the server, he decided to change his character and name to that, and also change to a skin of her as well. Basically as an attempt to try to, I guess, get them to talk to him so that he could sort of coach them on how anarchy servers actually work. And it worked really well because one of the new people was a really big fan of Pekora. Also running a Pekora skin as well. I don't remember what his name was. Usada something or other. Doesn't really matter though. And basically they just went about their life playing around the server, sort of getting the idea of how it worked. They brought in a couple of new people. They started building their group on the server called what was the name? Fit, tell me what the name is. Where is it? Here's the name. Where that Fit, you can read out the name for me.
Group that calls themselves the Japanese Army, and how an
There you go. That Nihongun, Nihongun, or the Japanese army, basically. And the sort of typical thing that happens when you become a group in 2B2T is once you've sort of become comfortable, you'll eventually make some sort of obsidian structure. And they decided not to do something small. Like, as you can see, they've made other things. Like, you've got, what was it? The Yamato-sen, I think it was what it was called. Basically, they built a big replica of the Yamato battleship. Also, there's this derpy-looking Minato Aqua in the sky. But they wanted to build something big. So they wanted to build basically the biggest obsidian structure on the server. Right. Before they built their structure, the biggest obsidian structure was this giant Owo. Giant Owo. And it was like 1.5 million blocks of obsidian or something stupid like that. But they wanted to one-up that. So they decided to build this Pekora, which was 1.8 million, no, so 2.1 million blocks, sorry. Yeah, 2.1 million blocks was how big their structure was going to be. But because it's 2B2T, they can't have anything happen without any difficulties. So one of the people in the group wasn't really working on the project. So that person got kicked out of the group before they'd actually started building the giant Pekora. And when this person found out they were building some sort of structure, he went to go grief it, but he thought that the replica of the Yamato battleship was their obsidian structure. So he started griefing that structure, which sort of bought them some time to keep working on their main structure. And by the time he worked out that the Yamato battleship was not the structure they were working on, the the giant Pekora was about 90% done, which he really couldn't grief it once it was that done. So he decided to basically try to infiltrate their group and grief it like that. But they realized that it was him running an alt account and decided to do a bed trap. So a bed trap is basically where you get someone to set their spawn point, and then you put lava on top of the bed and surround it by obsidian, making it so it's basically impossible for them to get out. They're just infinitely in a death loop, because by the time that they would be able to break the obsidian, their character would be long dead. So they just keep dying over and over and over again, and there's nothing you can really do at that point besides getting like the admins to teleport you out of there, or that's really the only thing. Switching to an alt account, at that point, there's nothing else you can really do. So this story was the funniest fucking thing I'd ever seen. I honestly thought this was a joke when someone sent me the clip, because I think they sent it to me. I think they sent it to me like just after it came out, so it would have been still very close to April Fool's Day. But I checked when this was uploaded. Not April Fool's Day. He honestly should have. He should have talked about it a little bit earlier, just to make people think it was a joke. But no, not an April Fool's joke. This thing does exist, and it is hilarious. The problem with 2B2T, though, is because of how popular of an Anarchy server is, being the oldest Anarchy server in Minecraft, the server waiting times are within, like, I think in some cases, you might have to wait an entire day to get onto the server in the really busy periods where, like, some outside YouTuber talks about it. Like, if PewDiePie was to talk about it, for example, there would be, like, thousands upon thousands of people waiting to join the server, and it wouldn't be a fun experience. I don't exactly understand the appeal of waiting to join just one Minecraft server for that long. I'd much rather just go do something else, like play on a server that doesn't have multiple hour or day waiting times. But some people want to do it, and hey, that's what they want to do. Maybe they just want to be a part of this really weird history. I think I've talked about Fit towards the, when I give a shout out some random channel. Fit's content is really, really good. I highly suggest it. But hey, especially if you want to, especially if you want to hear someone every single video say the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft. You've probably heard his voice before if you've ever seen any sort of like Minecraft meme like that. He's doing some random other stuff. I guess even Fit will run out of content on 2v2t. We'll have to try out some other servers. Usually he will, like, a lot of these, like, 2v2t guys also talk about, like, the other anarchy servers that exist, and like, but none of them are actually as good as 2v2t. 2v2t is the OG, therefore it is the best. But from what I've seen, it does seem to be the best. The one advantage the other ones do have is you can play on them. That's a good advantage, though. It's not my thing. I'd much rather just play something chill. I don't really like multiplayer games for the most part. I'd much rather just play something single player. But hey, if that's the thing you want to do, I can only respect it, to be honest. Yeah. Let's see. What else do we want to talk about? Talking about some video we could keep talking about some video games, I guess. I think I made a 15-minute clip from it. I talked a bit about Kingdom Hearts mods last week, but this modding scene is just exploding. Like, it is getting absolutely crazy what's being done. So not only can you play as, any of the normal playable characters that are in the game, they've started doing things like importing new characters to play, playing as characters that wouldn't normally be playable, like Shion, Lee, and Ventus, for example. While they do have attack sets, they aren't intended to be player characters, but it's much easier to, like, play as Kairi and play as Riku because there are sections of KH3 where you can actually play as them. Also, there is a new mod menu, which isn't as difficult to get, so I guess they worked out a trigger that works for earlier in the game. I think the reason why they had it attached to spawning Simba earlier was because they were looking for a function to basically bind the opening of the menu to, and that was the first thing they found. But now what they've bound it to is something you get, I think, when you get in, like, Twilight Town or something. So it's much easier to actually get access to the mod menu, so you can start messing around with it from a much earlier point. I imagine as the modding does improve, though, they're just going to have some sort of, like, trigger on your keyboard to launch up the mod menu whenever you want in the game, rather than having it bounce like an in-game event. But honestly, it's really, really cool. Like, they've also imported things like KH1 Sora. It's not playable, you, like, T-pose the entire time, but it's still really, really cool. Also, this new mod menu has a particle viewer as well. How they got that to work, I have no idea, but it really does show what's going to be possible with the modding in this game once it actually becomes a bit more mature. Because really, the game's only been out for, like, not even a month, maybe, at this point. Maybe it's been a month at this point, but it is insane. Absolutely insane what's actually happening. I can only imagine what's going to happen in the future. I think I've briefly talked about this, but, like, the console version of Kingdom Hearts already has a big modding scene, like, through PCSX and also through modded PS4s. You could do things like importing new maps and things like that. So that sort of goes to show what's going to be possible once this actually does have a much better understanding of the code base. Honestly, with how much support this is getting, it would be really cool if Square Enix just decided to, release a mod kit like Bethesda did for basically most of their games. A mod kit would be really cool, because I can only imagine what would happen if people actually had access to tools like that. What they're doing is doing this stuff through a completely obfuscated code base where they have to just they don't understand any of the code that's actually there. It's sort of have to reverse engineer what's going on and I guess decode what's going on to understand it. Having tools like that would open up so many possibilities, though. You could probably turn into a completely different game. Like, I've seen some pretty crazy Skyrim mods, and having something like that available for Kingdom Hearts, I don't know. I don't know what could be possible. Sky's the limit, I guess. Because it seems like you can do some pretty crazy stuff already with KH3, and the game doesn't crash. Like, you can spawn 10 bosses at the same time, and the game runs. Like, it doesn't run well, but it runs. And that's impressive, because the game is not intended to have that many particle effects and that many character models on... I guess character models, yes, but not that many bosses at the same time. The particle effects would be the big one that's really causing the performance hit, and it seems like it's not as bad as you'd expect it to be. The PC ports of Kingdom Hearts do seem like they're really good. Oh my god. Okay, so we're seeing model swaps for new stuff now. Stop showing me the fucking eToro ad. I don't care. I've seen this ad so many times. I saw... Wait, I need to find this. Do you have a timestamp to when you're showing it? Is that... Okay, so it's a bunch of Keyblade model swaps. Now, Oh! Okay, no, that's a character model swap. Okay. So this is a model swap for changing Sora into Neku from that one game that I'm forgetting the name of that has an anime this season. Yes, Neku. You know, if you know who Neku is, you probably know who I'm talking about. If you don't know who Neku is, then Google Neku. Let's see. So that's swapping. Okay, and this is, I guess, some sort of armored form. Okay, that's cool. Here we go. Here's the one I clicked on the thumbnail for. This is model swapping a Keyblade for a Minecraft diamond sword. Why? Yes. That's why. That's I guess a recolored Oblivion for some reason. There's a lot of recolor mods, which, you know, recolor mods aren't really that exciting. It's just like, oh yes, you worked out where the model file's stored and you put a color on it. Wow, that's impressive modding there. But even so, I still think it is pretty cool what's happening. Yeah. Oh, so remember with the Facebook hack not too long ago? Obviously, lots of data went out there. Seems like maybe my phone number was in there as well, because earlier today I have had 2 spam calls in the exact same day, and they're the exact same spam. So what it was, I presume like America has a very similar thing, but Australia has this very common scam right now where basically you have someone pretending like they're from the Australian tax office, and they're pretending like your tax file number, which I don't know what that's called in your country, but you'll have some equivalent of a tax file number. The name actually is sort of very descriptive, isn't it? Yeah. It's the number that links to your tax file. Work it out, whatever your number's called. And they'll say, oh, your tax file number has been suspended and the Court of Internal Affairs is going to come and arrest you, or some other nonsense like that. And the thing that makes it the most... Firstly, the fact that it's an obvious scam is that they also say things like, there has been suspicious activity in your bank account, but you haven't received a phone call from your bank. Firstly, very big warning sign right there. Second warning sign is that if there's a problem with my tax file number, why didn't the Australian tax office send me an email about it, or send me a message on the tax file login portal, or why am I not getting a phone call from like a human speaker? Also, this is a robocall, so that also is a clue in on it being fake as well. The other very, very obvious clue in that it's very fake is the fact that giving you a call from a mobile phone number. So in Australia, any phone number that starts with 04 is going to be I guess, is it all of Australia or is it just South Australia? In South Australia, at least, 04 is for a mobile number. I don't think that someone from the tax office or the Court of Internal Affairs is going to send me a robocall from a mobile. And obviously, you can Google the mobile number. It doesn't show you anything, which is another very obvious sign that it's not exactly a real call. But why would the tax office, right? They say that because of suspicious activity, your tax file number has been suspended. Why would the tax office say they're going to suspend your tax file number? So you've done something illegal. Stop paying taxes. It's like, aha. Now, I get that it sounds scary to like over 60-year-olds, but think this through. Why would the tax office decide to make you stop paying taxes because you've done something illegal? It's scary words, but if you think through what's actually being said, it's such an obvious scam that I don't understand how anyone actually falls for it. The mobile number is the biggest giveaway, but what's actually being said is at least it's better than the other scam calls that I get. At least this one I can listen to and like understand and laugh about. The other one that's very common here is you get a call from, usually it's from like Melbourne, and it'll just be nothing but Chinese rambling. I don't know what's being said. It's all in Chinese. I don't know how well that's supposed to work with Australian listeners. I know there is like a lot of Chinese residents in Australia, but I'm sure that they're probably smart enough to work out that if they're getting a call from an Australian number that is rambling to them in Chinese, it's probably nonsense. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's really convincing, but I feel like an Australian number talking to you in Chinese that you've never met before, probably obvious that it's not a government call or anything like that. Has anyone like under like 60 ever fallen for one of those scam calls? Honestly, if you have, honestly, I feel bad for you. I really do. I do feel bad for you, but geez, that's really sad if you have. Oh Lord. Yes. How did we get? I don't even know how we got into scam calls. Right. I don't know. I was talking about Kingdom Hearts, and somehow we got to scam calls for some reason. Works out. I think the first one I got was at, I think at 10 a.m. or so. When I saw the number, I was like, okay, I'm probably getting a call from work from one of the bosses that just doesn't have my phone number. Like they'll usually they'll use the work phone, because you know they don't want to use their own their own minutes up. But occasionally I will get calls from managers from their personal phones as well, which that's fine. I'll answer. I'll usually tell them like I don't want to work, but I'll still answer it because I'm nice like that. I'll at least give them the satisfaction of knowing that even though I don't want to work, I'm at least willing to answer my phone, unlike a lot of other people who just see the boss number, put the phone down. Or better yet, when I was managing, see the boss number, instantly end the call. If you instantly end the call, there is no more obvious sign that you're actually at your phone. At least let it ring out if you're trying to pretend like you're not around. That's the way you do that. Not, oh, call end. Yeah. Wait, can I show you this? No, I can't. Right, because I'm not sharing my screen, am I? So I'm actually no longer using my my regular web browser to do things like Twitter, Discord, Mastodon, things like that. I guess I can do something. I can add a new thing in here. We can go window capture. Yes. Yeah, that'll work. Here we go. Here's the application, covering the entire screen. So this is an application. I guess we can. There we go, whatever. We'll make it like that. This is an application known as Ferdy. What it is a concept called a messaging browser. Now, I had never heard the term messaging browser before, but basically what it is like a I guess like a meta collection of all of your different chat apps. So I have Discord in here, I have Twitter in here, I have Mastodon in here, I have Element. Obviously not going to show you my Messenger because that has things that I from people that I don't particularly want to dox. And yeah, my sort of idea for running this is, even though you could do all of this in your web browser, like there's nothing stopping you running Discord in a regular browser. What I'm doing here though is sort of keeping this stuff all grouped together so that I'm not going to be wasting time as much looking at it, on my regular browser. So what I could go and do is block it out of, like, actually block it in my regular browser so I actually can't open it up. And if I want to check it, I have to go out of my way to open this up. Also, unlike having the Discord app, it doesn't leave a icon in my system tray that like shows me that I have a notification. Also, I disable notifications for all of the things in here, so I have to actually go and check it if I want to see something. So I've been running this for like the past 3 or 4 days, and honestly, I kinda like it. Like, I kinda like having a bit of freedom from my messages, because one of the things you don't realize about being addicted to something is that you're addicted to it until you stop using it. Like, for the first day, I was like I was occasionally going back to it more and more, but I realized, like, yeah, I'm going to check this thing. I don't need to be doing that. So I guess just me sort of working on ways to more effectively use my time, because it's not like I have a problem with chatting with people on Discord. I really do enjoy it. It's just that I will go and check the messages when there are like no messages, and I'll sort of just like sit there and wait for a message, and it's just not a good use of your time. Go back every couple of hours or so, there'll be messages then. Maybe people will be more active then. You can chat then. I also have I've talked about this one, that I sort of have a problem with checking my YouTube statistics way too often. I haven't come up with a good way to deal with that. I guess I could stick it in the messaging browser, because even though it's mainly for chat apps, you don't have to just use it for that. You can use it for, anything else you want as well. So you could put like YouTube in there, you could put anything else like that. Yeah. I was saying I wasn't going to use, and then someone said something on Discord I sort of want to respond to. I also have a Mastodon. Someone didn't realize that the FSF actually has a Twitter account. Yeah, the FSF has a Twitter account. If you didn't know that, it's weird. I wouldn't expect them to be there, but it makes sense because Twitter is a popular thing, and you want to get your message to people outside of your sphere. But yeah, Ferdy, I'm gonna do a video on it next week. I don't know if it'll be out next week or if it'll be out. Actually, it'll be out next week as of you watching this. Yeah, or it'll already be out before you watch this. It'll be out soon. I really like it. It's a fork of another application known as Franz. Franz is an interesting one. So Ferdy basically exists because the Franz developers really really fucked up with the way they structure their application. So they have basically the exact same feature set. I don't know of any different or any advantages that Franz actually has over Ferdy, because Ferdy, while having all of the same features, also has more on top. So it has like a bunch of predefined apps that just work nicely and have like an icon there for you already. For other ones, you just have to add the icon in yourself. Nothing too crazy there. But Ferdy also supports a bunch of extras as well. So yeah. Also, you don't need to use an account with Ferdy. With Franz, you do need an account. Like, I don't think even on the free plan you actually can use it. You can use it without an account. Also, it has really dumb limitations for the free model. So the free model, you can have up to 3 messaging services. Wow. 3 messaging services? You're a fucking web browser. You're in no position to charge me to have more than 3 websites open. Piss off with that. Also, has account sync. 30 also has that as well. But the other nice thing about 30 is you can do the account sync and you can go and host the server yourself. So you don't have to use their own service to do it. The $3 a month has up to 6 services. Oh, wow. 6 services in a web browser. Fuck off, you're still a web browser. You can't be charging for having websites open. That's fucking stupid. Also, the free version has ads in it. You have ads in your web browser. Now, Brave does have ads as well, but Brave's ads I can filter out very easily. So with the also the free version doesn't have access to workspaces. So workspaces are basically groups. So I can have my personal group and my YouTube group and my podcast group. You have to pay $6 a month to actually do that, and that is $6 American. So I would have to pay what, $9 a month just to have more than 6 websites open, a spell checker, no ads, and groups. And obviously that's stupid. So if you are running Franz, just switch to 30. I don't think any of my viewers would be running Franz. Like, if they are running something like this, it will be 30, because not only is 30 open source, it's licensed under the Apache license. Not only is it open source, it is just Franz, but objectively better. Like, there's nothing about 30 that is worse than Franz. It also has things like a do not disturb mode, so if you want to have it so between 9 and 5 p.m. you don't want to be able to see any of the things you have in there because you have like Discord and stuff, you could do that. Or if you want to have it so it locks, you could have a lock. Now, don't run the lock on Linux because it does not work. What happens is you actually soft lock the application. So once you've locked it, what you're supposed to be able to do is press the lock key and it will prompt you for a password to unlock it. Hotkeys don't work, though, in the Linux version, so you can't do anything. And you can't rerun the lock command because when you lock it, it takes it out of the context menu. So I noticed this bug when I was testing it out, and I was really confused about it the first time I saw it. I was like, did this application already break? Technically, yes, but it was a break of my own doing. So as long as you just don't touch the lock button on Linux, it's fine. But I don't log out of my accounts on my web browser anyway, so really it's no different. It's just that the websites are already opened up prior to like me actually having to go to them, I guess. So I think 30 is cool, and check out the video when it comes out, I guess. Also, it has like a to-do thing in it. I don't really care about having to-dos there. Like, I can do my to-dos in anything else, whether that be Vim if I want to do it locally, or I can just go to one of the services that actually integrates in and use it in a full browser window rather than having this little tab off to the side. But maybe that's how you prefer to do it, but that's not me. I prefer to do it my own way. Personally, the local stuff in Vim or something like that is usually the way that I'm gonna go about doing it. So every year, HexDSL does this end of year thing where he talks about, or he gets a bunch of other YouTubers to talk about whatever really cool game they've been playing throughout the year that's actually supported on Linux. And this is a game that actually came out like that year. And I'm going to check this game out because I think it's going to end up being really good. It's called Curse of the Dead Gods. It is like a, I guess it's an action roguelite, as it says there. But it has this really, really nice art style. I guess you'd call it cel-shaded, I guess. But it's sort of reminds me of like bit of like Torchlight, a bit of Diablo, a bit of a Hades, that one. Also, there's a crossover with Dead Cells, which is cool, which is just ultimately really cool. I'm loving Dead Cells right now. It's an awesome game. But yeah, look at this art style. Like, this is such a, I guess it would be cell shaded, yeah. I'm gonna check this out. It is currently on sale for 20% off, and it won't be on sale by the time this comes out. No, it might be. If you're watching this on Odyssey, it'll still be on sale if you're watching it when this comes out. But it'll probably still be on sale or it'll go on sale again at a later point as well. But yeah, it has a beautiful art style. So I'm probably going to play this, and we'll see if this ends up being my my Linux game of the year. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll see. We are still like very close to the start of the year, but I'm not sure what I'm going to replace Crystar with after I'm done with it. I sort of like the idea of having one infinite game and then one game that like sort of will end at some point. So right now I'm maining, I guess I have more than one thing. I'm mainly playing Hades and Dead Cells. I might go back to Doom at some point, but I'm really God, I got stuck at a point in Doom and it started to piss me off. So we'll see. But right now, Dead Cells is really, really grabbing my attention. I love Dead Cells a lot. So maybe I'll chuck this onto the roster, and then every couple of weeks I'll play Dead Cells and I'll play Curse the Dead Gods, and I'll struggle through more fucking Hades. As for Crystar's position, though, I'm still not certain on what I want to replace it with. Like, I'm thinking I might do something on the PS4. Like, maybe I'll do Kingdom Hearts, but if I start doing Kingdom Hearts, I don't know, that's gonna take a while. Like, even though it's just Kingdom Hearts 1 and then go to something else, it's still gonna take a while. Or I could maybe play like Fairy Fencer. Fairy Fencer is a real... Oh, you don't know what Fairy Fencer is? That's a game that, by the same studio, Idea Factory, who makes the Nep Nep series, but this series no one has ever really heard of. So Fairy Fencer F Advent Dark Force. It is quite good though. Very, very similar style to the Neptunia combat system as well. Same sort of comedy style as well, just a very, very different setting. And I own this on PS4. I do own the first game on PC. I don't really want to spoil what it's about because it's actually really, really cool. I guess I'll say there's like some sort of time looping in it, but that's as far as I'll go. Yeah, we'll say there's some time looping in it, and that's about it. Really cool game though. Might play that. I still haven't played F. F. I've just played Advent Dark Force. F is they're all F. They're all Fairy Fencer F. Brodie, what are you doing? Yeah, Advent Dark Force. I want to play. They sort of got away with doing some because it is a very time loopy. They got away with doing some lazy stuff with the second game. You know, reusing some areas. But there were some changes that have happened for sure. Some new characters, some new stuff like that. I cannot show that next picture. Maybe it'll be a problem to play on stream, but it'll probably be fine. Actually, no, that picture's fine. Here you go. Here's the picture. Yeah, there we go. Also, there's obviously going to be some references to the Neptunia series as well. Yeah, also you can have some toast in your mouth. And you can give everyone swimsuits because reasons. It's a fun game though. I enjoy turn-based RPGs for sure. I don't know why, like, a turn-based RPG is a weird one. Like, it's very difficult to make a good turn-based RPG, but when you play a good one, it's very obvious that it's a good one. I don't know, it's sort of weird. Like, I can't really quantify what makes a good turn-based RPG. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'm just looking at some of the games that Idea Factory has done, and they haven't done anything on PC in a while. I guess last thing they did was the last Neptunia game. Neptunia Virtual Stars. Okay, Steam just broke. So this is one of the infinite spin-off games the Neptunia series has, where I think this is a continuation of like I was gonna say continuation of the Idle game. It's part Idle, I guess, but also hack and slash because Neptunia. All the spin-off games, even if they don't need to be hack and slash games, always seem to be hack and slash. But Idea Factory also did the recent Azure Lane game as well, which I was very surprised about. It looks fun, but I don't care about Azure Lane, so I'm not going to play it. And then the last Nep game they did, I forgot they actually made. So in the end credit scenes of I think the first Neptunia game, there's a side-scrolling shooter, and they decided to actually make this into an actual game. I don't know why. I guess someone was requesting it, and now that exists, I guess. Super Neptunia RPG I want to try out. I apparently like recently it's got like mixed reviews. I don't know why, because when I saw the initial reviews of the game, it seemed like people enjoyed it. And it looks like a fairly decent party based RPG system. Like nothing groundbreaking, but it certainly still looks fun. I don't know, maybe people have a very very picky views with what they want. What has Artisan Studios done? Nothing besides nothing besides Super Neptunia RPG. Alright, sure. Also, every Nep game has way too much DLC. Like, so much DLC that you don't even know what to do with all the DLC. And most of it is just like, hey, you want some new skins? Hey, you want some skins? You think that Fortnite and games like that are bad with skins? You've never played a Japanese game because they love to sell you skins. Like there will be a skins menu in the game, and there will be nothing in it. And throughout the entire game, you will never get anything in it because all of the skins you get are DLC. That you have to pay for. No free skins here. No free skins, not at all. No. You want some customization? You gotta pay for it. I guess there is one exception, and that is with actually Crystar's just as bad with all the other DLC, but with the holy shit, it's $85 right now for Crystar. What the fuck? I would not pay $85 for this game. I got it on sale for like 50% off or so. Still a fun game. Just I wouldn't pay $84 for any game though. But you get one set of DLC with this. You get the bikini DLC, and that is all. All the other DLC, like the uniform DLC and Mid-Eye's clothes, and what other ones do you have in here? You can, that's cute. You can put Sen in Animanes's clothes. That actually does make sense once you sort of play the game and understand a bit of the story. And you can put Nanana and Phyllis's clothes. That's cute. I like that actually. But yeah, you get a bikini costume for all of the characters, which is cool. What is this studio made? They made the Caligula effect? All right then. That's is that the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, that is. It has a really the fuck? It has a really shitty anime, doesn't it? Is there anything besides videos here? Yeah, pictures. So it looks like it's a turn-based. Looks like a similar turn-based style as Neptunia, but it's got an interesting way to do its turns up here, that's cool. Ah, okay. Also, it's in a school. Yeah, I do know what Caligula effect is. Yeah, this did have a really shitty anime. Ah, what a great time that was. Let's see. That was on Furu Corporation. What else have they done? Nisa RPG Bundle, no idea what that is. Lots of DLC. Lost Dimension, no idea what that is. Also, there's Holiday DLC. Yay. Chunsoft. Oh, they did the ReZero visual novel. Nice. Also, Robotics Notes. Nice. Robotics Notes has a... Oh, okay. Yeah, so Chunsoft is a very important company. So, ReZero, Robotics Notes, Danganronpa, Steins Gate. Yeah, okay. This is actually like a serious studio. I've never played through Steins Gate. I should at some point. I adore the anime. I even like things like Chaos Head and Chaos Child, even though they're questionable in their quality, would be a good way to put it. At least the anime. But I don't know. At some point, maybe. It's just kind of difficult for me to sit down and want to play a visual novel. Like, I'm gonna read. I might just read a book, like an actual book. Yeah. Speaking of books, I think, did I mention this last time that my sister got me a no, I didn't mention this. So my sister usually just buys me a gift card for a local bookshop in Australia known as QBD. It's cool. I like books. She's lazy, doesn't want to find me a gift. Works out kind of well. And I wanted to spend that gift card along with buying a bunch of other books as well. I bought a meme book though, because people keep telling me about this book. Here, I haven't read it yet. You might have just seen the title there. I don't know, maybe. If you're listening to the audio, you didn't know, so it works out for me, because most of my listeners are audio. This right here, this is the 4-hour work week. Escape the 9 to 5, live anywhere, and join the new rich. Warning, do not read this book unless you want a new way of living. Oh, that's scary. Forget the old concept of retirement and saving for the future. There is no need to wait and every reason not to. Whether your dream is escaping the rat race, experience first-class world travel, earning a monthly five-figure income with no management, or just living more and working less, this book is the blueprint. In this step-by-step guide to living the life of your dreams, you will learn how author Timothy Ferris went from $40,000 a year and 80 hours per week. Wait, I'm so okay. This is why I called it a meme book. How little are you getting paid if you're working 80 hours a week and you're making $40,000? What does that work out to be? So there's 52 weeks in a year. 52 times 80. Okay. So 40,000 divided by... So that's $9.60 an hour. I guess if you're working 80 hours a week at minimum wage jobs, you could make $40,000 a year. But most people who work minimum wage jobs also don't work that many hours. Maybe they'll work 40 hours, but 80 hours? Yeah, sure. I'll accept it. Maybe it's completely true. Maybe he did work 80 hours a week, making $40,000 a year. How to eliminate 50% of your work in 48 hours using the principles of a forgotten Italian economist. European economics. How to exchange your career for life. How to exchange your career for life for short work. How to exchange your career for life for short work bursts and frequent mini retirements. That is a weird phrasing. And how to outsource your life and do whatever you want. And this is a quote from Jack Canfield. It's about time this book was written. It is a long overdue manifesto for the mobile lifestyle, and Tim Ferriss is the ideal ambassador. The second I saw this book, even though it is $30, I had to buy it. I knew I had to buy it because it was going to be funny. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's actually like a super serious book and it will change my life forever. I would like to be retired right now. That would be lovely. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if the meme book manages to give me some way to retire by the time I'm 30. That would be cool. I would like that. Because my goal right now is just ride the crypto wave, and that's doing pretty good for me. I've made enough from that. Not not enough to retire at 30, but I've made a lot from it so far. Waiting for that big crash to happen, and then we'll see how we go. I did notice actually that Bitcoin hit a new record. It is currently there's a article from abc.net.au. Why I will never buy Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. Let's talk about that one in just a moment. Bitcoin is currently $81,000 in Australia. What the actual fuck? What is that in a not shit currency? $62,882. What the fuck? Yeah, that's my current my current plan is buy crypto and go through that. Let's see what why did I say doctor? Let's see what, he's not a doctor. Let's see what Mr. Patrick Wright has to say about a Bitcoin. How much is Bitcoin really worth? I don't have a good answer, and it's why I'm steering clear. How much is your dollar worth? You don't know because it's not actually backed by anything. Let's find out what he has to say about this. When I think about Bitcoin, the best known cryptocurrency right now, I think of a quote from Warren Buffett. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. The Oracle of Omaha wrote in a Omaha? Is that how you say that? I don't know. Wrote in a letter to his Berkshire Hathaway shareholders in 2008. I don't care about your ads. Whether we're talking about socks or stocks, I like buying quality merchandise when it is marked down. The quote highlights a couple of important points about investing. The price of investment doesn't necessarily reflect its value. No, that's the opposite of what he's saying. The price is the only thing that reflects the price is the only thing that defines its value. And the lower the price you pay, the better your results. Okay, sure. Yeah, if you're looking for investments, that's very good advice. It's common sense, really, and while Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have been around for quite a while and have made lots of people rich, these 2 points sum up why I'm staying away. That is not to say that Bitcoin is going to collapse. It's just that Bitcoin doesn't make a lot of sense as an investment to me. Here are 4 reasons why. Bitcoin is not a productive asset. Okay, yeah, I'll give you that one. That is very true. When you invest in the stock market, you become part owner of a business. When they succeed, businesses are productive, they tend to make money, and as a shareholder, you're entitled to some of it. It's the same with property, which can be rented out to generate an income stream for the owner. Bitcoin's value is also based on the project itself. You might decide, for example, to accept a certain return from a business or rental property like 5% that can help you decide how much you're willing to value the investment. In this case, 20 times rent or income. But how do you decide how much to pay for Bitcoin? It doesn't produce earnings or cash flow like a business or rental property. It's just a token that trades at whatever price people are willing to pay. I certainly don't know how much a Bitcoin is worth myself, and that's one of the reasons I'm steering clear. The price is what people want to pay for it. Bitcoin interest is not the same as bank interest. Okay, sure. The interest or the increase in the Bitcoin price doesn't actually matter until you actually sell it. Sure, some companies pay interest on Bitcoin, but these arrangements are nothing like a typical savings account. No, they actually are. They're very, very similar to a savings account, actually. These interest payments are often generated by lending out holdings to other investors and traders. That's exactly how a bank operates. This introduces counterparty risk. If your company lending your Bitcoin goes bust, you end up losing money. It's far riskier than a bank savings account because cash deposits are under 250,000 are guaranteed by the government. Okay, that's fair. But that doesn't mean that the same thing couldn't happen to a crypto lending company, for example. But yeah, you lose your money if the bank goes bankrupt as well. So that's not exactly a fair situation. Even in the unlikely situation your bank goes bust, you won't lose your cash because the government will bail you out. There's also the issue of security. The exchanges where people trade their cash for cryptocurrency are often targeted by hackers. Do not use a system where you have to leave your coin on an exchange then. Yeah, don't do that. Bad idea. Use a staking coin. Much better idea. Bitcoin is highly speculative. Okay, let's see where you're going with this one. Because yes, it is, but also so is the stock market, uh, and gold, and every sort of investment. In late 2016, you could buy a single Bitcoin for around $1,000. Today, Bitcoin is worth more than 70 times that. I'm guessing you're going by $1,000 in the Australian price because if you're going by US price, that wouldn't be 70 times. That would only be 62 or whatever. It's great news for people who held on, but there's no guarantee the trend will continue. Yes, that's how investments work. But while the jury is still out on Bitcoin's future, it is clear there is a lot of speculation going on. It's something even Elon Musk, who recently bought $1.5 billion Bitcoin for his company Tesla earlier this year, can admit. It should be considered speculation at this point, so don't go too far with crypto speculation front. So don't go too far with the crypto speculation front, Mr. Musk said recently. Yeah, that's entirely fair. Only invest what you can afford to lose. People should not invest their life savings in cryptocurrency. To be clear, that's unwise. That is the case for basically any sort of investment. If you think that there is any chance that it could go completely belly up and you actually need that money, do not invest it. Do not keep yourself safe, basically. Don't, like, you're not playing the slot machines here. Like, leave yourself some money that if something bad happens, you don't lose your house. Another issue to consider is Bitcoin's volatility. In December 2017, Bitcoin briefly sold for more than $25,000. Shortly afterwards, the price crashed more than 30%. The price continued to decline, falling to less than $5,000. Fuck, I wish I'd bought back at $5,000. Even if you went, even if you're a fervent believer in Bitcoin, it would have been extremely hard to hold on during through that period. You shouldn't have held on. If you held on, you're an absolute fucking moron. What you should have done is sold at the 25,000 when it started to fall and buy at the bottom. If you don't do that, I think you're a crazy person. Take advantage of the dips. But also, have you heard of this thing called the GFC, the Global Financial Crisis? Or how about Corona? Ever heard of Corona? Ever heard of things that cause market volatility? Yeah, every asset is going to be susceptible to market volatility. Crypto probably more so, just because the market is smaller than than the stock exchanges. It's not clear if Bitcoin will be widely adopted. If you think it's a currency, you're a moron. Some Bitcoin, it's I wouldn't even call it a store of value. I would call it a trend to just... it is a trend that we don't know where it's going to go. Some Bitcoin supporters believe digital currency will be widely adopted in the future. It won't be. It is such a fucking power hog. That's not going to ever happen. It is often used as an argument to buy Bitcoin by now while they're cheap before everyone else needs them. But it's not entirely clear if this future will eventuate. As Reserve Bank Governor Philip Lowe has argued, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are not commonly used for everyday payments, and it's hard to see that changing. I actually do expect that to change for, like, behind the scenes stuff to actually increase transaction speed. But as for, everyday day-to-day payments, it doesn't really make a ton of sense. But as we're shifting to fully digital currencies, I have a feeling that the banks will roll out some sort of proprietary coin that sort of speeds up their ability to actually handle transactions. Maybe based on, like, XRP or something like that. The value of Bitcoin is very volatile. The number of payments that can be currently handled is very low. There are governance problems. The transaction cost involved in making a payment with Bitcoin is very high. That is very true. Not as bad as some coins. Mobile coin, 10% flat fee. Estimates of electricity used in the process of mining of coins are staggering. Yes. It is okay to sit and watch from the sidelines, but you will, screw up and realize you should have bought some while back. I don't know if Bitcoin is going to rule the world, and I don't want to bet that people will be willing to pay more Bitcoins in future than they do. I don't want to bet that people will be willing to pay more for Bitcoins in future than they do today. So I'm simply not getting involved. Well, you could always put like a couple of $100 in there. I'm sure like a writer at the ABC has some spare income they can chuck at it for a meme and just see what happens. It's one of the great things about investing. You can pick and choose the investments that suit you most. And for me, it's not bitcoins and cryptocurrencies. You may decide differently, and you may be right. I would say one thing, which is not to get too carried away. Don't risk what you can't afford. What? Yeah, yeah, obviously. And finally, keep your Bitcoin secure. You don't want to be end up like James Howell, who accidentally threw away a hard drive containing 7,500 Bitcoins. I agree with the final sentiment here, like, don't risk what you can't lose, but all of this is basically true about any other asset you can purchase as well. I think just putting, if you just put Bitcoin in the title, it's very good for clicks, as we sort of established by me clicking on it. Stocks rise, stocks rise, Bitcoin reaches record high, unemployment to fall. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if we get some sort of weird recovery, or if we crash, or what ends up actually happening. Most investors still think Bitcoin is a bubble. I hope it's a bubble. I want the bubble to crash. I want the bubble to pop, because what's going to happen is going to go whoop. It's going to way back up, because sure, it's a bubble, but the market is very big. The market is very fucking big, and if that bubble crashes, some like investment bankers sell out and sell like multiple millions of dollars of Bitcoin in a single transaction, and it goes, and I go throw my money at it, and then throw the money back at me, and then I'm rich. That's how that works. Don't invest anything you can't afford to lose. YouTube, don't strike me. I'm not investment expert. Whatever. Blah blah blah. You know the drill. YouTube, you know the drill. I'm just saying my opinion on this. I'm not saying you should invest your money in this. I'm just saying what I've done myself. If money can't buy your love, maybe Bitcoin will do. Maybe Bitcoin will do. Oh wait, I can't read. I was just reading a picture that was there. Oh lordy lord. Yes. What do we got here? Let's talk about some Minecraft. We already talked about some Minecraft earlier, but there's this weird channel. I don't know what gave him the idea to do this, but basically all of his videos are about non-Euclidean Minecraft. So let's see if I can find the channel. There are a couple of channels who are doing it, because I guess this mod must have just come out. The one that I've specifically been watching, though, is called BT Mods. BT Mods makes, like, I guess you describe them as, like, oh, wow, he's only done, like, a few videos, and most of the, wow, okay. I guess I've only watched a couple then. Yeah, this video, basically, without the fucking eToro ads, basically, the idea is it's using a mod called Immersive Portals, where, unlike in regular Minecraft portals where there's a loading screen, this one makes them immersive. And you can use that to do things like increase the size of your character or decrease the size of your character, and make it sort of seem like nothing's actually happened until you actually take a look at what's actually happening, or maybe teleport you somewhere, things like that. So what you're going to see is this person walking into their house here. Yeah, they're walking into their house, and as they walk out, you'll see what I mean about this weird sort of teleportation. So he's sort of going on about like, oh, I've only been playing this Minecraft world for like 2 days or so now, and I've only got this small house, and if we go back outside, oh, look, the house is, I haven't done that much work to it, and like go back into the house and do some other fancy stuff. It's a cool mod for sure, and there's some other cool stuff you can do with it. Like there was one here about like how big can you make a piece of TNT? The answer is quite big, and the way TNT is sort of written in Minecraft is odd, because normally what it's supposed to do is make a crater, but if you increase the size of the TNT, it doesn't increase the size of the crater. It starts to like stretch out where the damage of the crater is actually hitting. So it starts like checkerboard. I don't understand how it's actually programmed like that. It's odd. It's definitely an odd sort of programming, but it's cool. He also did one where he basically did this like fucking god, fucking eToro again. They know I'm talking about them. He also did this other one where he was doing like this Minecraft speed run. There was one dude in the he was saying like, "Oh, I can't believe this channel hasn't exploded yet," and there was someone being like, "Oh yeah, you know this is fake, right?" Like, yes. What do you mean you know this is fake? It literally says a non-Euclidean Minecraft speedrun with mods. This is a kind of fun one. Here we go. He falls through the ground. I know he gets small, sorry. And now he can like walk through this hole. And I think, what does he do now? I think if he goes through the portal, is that what happens? And then, oh no, he opens the chest and then becomes bigger again. And there's some neat things that happen here. Oh yeah, he'll rebuild the nether portal and you'll see the immersive portals in action. Here you go. Yeah, if we go ahead just a little bit. There you go. So, regular world here, nether here. It's actually a cool mod. I sort of wish that, it worked like this out of the box. Don't know why it doesn't. I'm guessing there might be some performance hit for actually having these portals work like this. But I still think it's cool nonetheless. Obviously, the rest of the non-Euclidean stuff doesn't really make much sense, but portals like this certainly would be cool. And it could lead to some fun stuff happening for sure. Maybe it'll lead to some weird game-breaking stuff as well. I don't know. I'm sure there's some really stupid things you could probably do if you are messing around enough with this way the game actually functions. But I recommend checking this stuff out. I don't know. I haven't played Minecraft in so long, but occasionally I will watch Minecraft videos for some inconceivable reason. I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why. There's just something about watching Minecraft videos that is kind of enjoyable. Not the hey guys, let's go build stuff in hardcore stuff like that. Like the content is actually like obviously directed at children, but like the people who try to like I guess mess around with what Minecraft is actually capable of and do some like pretty cool stuff like that, I think is still definitely fun to check out for sure. And I highly suggest it. I don't really have much else to talk about on that that topic. Speaking of profiles, I was actually looking at the next topic I wanted to do. One of my subscribers, I don't think I told him the name, but I guess he just worked out what my my Kitsu profile name was. Like it's the same name I use for all my games, so it's pretty easy to work out. But yeah, here's my Kitsu. Here we go. I love this picture. I stand behind this picture. I haven't changed this profile since I think it would have been like 18 or 19, so maybe even younger, maybe even like 17 or so. So you can sort of like see into the mindset of what? How many years ago would that have been? 5 years? Fuck. 5 years ago I would have been 18. Fuck. So 2016, 2015 Brodie. But hey, waifu Mash Kitty Light from Fate. It's not a bad choice. Not a bad choice at all. I've got way too much shit. Wait, I've got way too much time on my hands. So if you ever want to talk shit, hit me up and I'll probably respond. I completely stand by that. Actually, yeah, maybe 18-year-old Brodie isn't that bad to be honest. Anime stats. So 50% comedy, 42% action, 39% fantasy, 24% romance, 19% science fiction, 16% adventure, and 14% superpower. Yeah, that's pretty accurate to my taste now. I would say that's nothing really out of the ordinary. That's a breakdown of how much I've actually watched, like the genres I've watched of. And I have apparently watched 7.8 months of anime. Like, 7.8 months? Yeah. Like, actual days of my life. Yeah. So like I've wasted almost an entire year just watching anime. And you know what? I don't take it back. And that's only over 7. I've only had the Kitsu account for 7 years. I guess I've been watching anime maybe more like 9 years. So over 9 years, I've almost spent an entire year of my life watching anime. That might be a problem. I've slowed down now. Like, most of this I watched. I think most of it I would have watched while I was at high school. So, yeah, I had nothing but free time in high school, like most high schoolers do. So, yeah. As for manga, apparently I've read more than 89% of users, only finishing 24 things, but reading 3,500 chapters. Fuck, I read a lot of manga. I guess a lot of that would have. Oh, yeah, no, because I've. A good portion of that would have been One Piece. One Piece and JoJo would have made up a lot of that. Yeah, that makes sense. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I watched more than 99% of other users on Kitsu, finishing 1,135 things. Fucking Christ. What was my last post? Alright, no, if you post stuff about the, yeah, if you update your anime list, then it's gonna show that. I can't show the last thing actually. Oh wait, no. User activity. What was the last thing I actually posted? It was about Saredo Tsumibito wa Ryu to Odoru. This was 3 years ago. Okay, 3 years ago was. I love trashy LN adaptations as much as the next guy, but even this is too much for me. It's like someone took everything bad about LN. It's like someone took everything bad about LNs about them and put them all into a boring package for everyone to enjoy. Weird phrasing. Oh, here's a good one. Pop Team Epic is the piece de resistance of anime. Only true intellectuals will understand the greatness of this masterpiece. You need to have watched Rick and Morty at least 100 times and have an IQ of over 300 to understand the complexities of Popuko and Pipimi. I believe that was a copy pasta. If I recall correctly, that was a copy pasta. So I also had watched. I was just about to go watch the first Heaven's Feel movie. Wow. Anyway, favorite series. Second season of Higurashi no Naku Koro ni, which, it's good. People who like laugh about this series, but I enjoy it. Hunter x Hunter, absolutely stand by Hunter x Hunter 2011. That is a masterpiece. Probably should be in first place, but I'll accept that. Monogatari series second season, also really good. Made in Abyss, masterpiece. Stand by that. A good Lagon, absolute masterpiece. Yep. Steins Gate. Yep. Now, why is the second season of Code Geass here? I enjoy it. It's really good. I wouldn't be there if I updated the list now. I would have something much better here. I don't know what I'd have here, but something. And also, the one that sort of stands out, Imoto Sai Ireba. I love this series. Imoto Sai Irebai is really good, but you wouldn't expect it to be on someone's like top list. So the story follows Siscon novelist Itsuki Hashima, his perfect sibling Chihiro, obsessed genius illustrator Kani Nayuta, peer/best friend Shirakawa Kyoto, and other crazy figures from the publishing industry. The English name is A Sister's All You Need. This is really good. I do recommend it, but it's also weird to have on a top 10 list. I wouldn't have it there now. I've seen much better stuff since then. Mushoku Tensei would probably be on this list. Because that is a fucking masterpiece. I don't know what else I'd put there, but something else. As for my favorite characters, this is here for a meme. So we have Shinobu, we have Kana Kamui, which, yeah, I love Kana. Can't wait for the next season of Maid Dragon. Koneko Tojo from High School DD. The cat girl from High School DD. good taste, yeah. We have Megumi Kato from Sanai Heroine? Sanai Heroine? Yes? Yes? Was that it? I think, maybe? I think so. Wait, I need to check. Megumi Kato. No, not the actual person. Sanai Heroine no Sorate Kata. It's about a group of people who make a visual novel. It's cool. Fate Testarossa from Nanoha. Yep, fair taste. Tomoya Daijo from Daidoji. So I can't read. Tomoyo Daidoji from Card Captor Sakura. Sure. Yep. I love Sakura. Great series. Tomoyo's also a very fun character. We have Tsukuyo from Gintama. Yeah, she's a really good character. Probably still my favorite character from Gintama. Maybe. I don't know. It's been a long time since I watched Gintama. Maybe I'll stand by that. Still good character nonetheless. And also Robert E.O. Speedwagon. Just like, okay, if I'm gonna have a top characters list, obviously Speedwagon has to be on it. As for my favorite manga, I don't know why some of these things are here. Like Naruto. I don't know why Naruto is here, but it is. We have Made in Abyss. Really good. Takes fucking forever to come out, but really good. Mob Psycho 100. Fully stand by that. Mob Psycho 100 is really good. When it wasn't shit, I would stand by Shokugeki no Soma being on that list. Food Wars, really good. Apparently the ending is really bad. Haven't actually read it though. Jojo no Kimio no Boken, Part 5, Orgon no Kaze, Golden Wind. Golden Wind is good. I don't know why Part 5's there. I love Part 5, but... yeah, I'd say Part 5 is still probably my favorite part from the ones I've read. I haven't finished Steel Ball Run yet. At some point, I will finish Steel Ball Run. That point is not now, though. Keijo. Keijo is really good. Keijo is basically... It is, what's a good way to describe it? Butt boxing. Butt boxing, how you describe it, basically. Basically, they're on, like, this little floaty thing in a pool, and they try to knock each other off with their asses. But it's also a superpowered series, which makes it even better. So, sure, butt boxing is fine, but butt boxing where you have people using, like, not, like, absolute nonsense powers. Like, there was one character in that series who, if she felt up someone's ass, could, like, copy their techniques. Does that make any sense? No. Does it need to make sense? No, because it's anime. Also, next up we have Naruto, which I don't know why is here. Because I finished the first season of, or the first section of Naruto. I never finished reading Shippuden though. So that's there, I guess. One Piece. I think I put One Piece there just because I suffered through all of that, like everything up to like Cake Island. Cake Island, is that what it's called? Yeah, Cake Island. Whatever, the one where Sanji fucks off to be forced into a marriage. I know it's got way further than that at this point, but that's where I stopped. I think the only reason it's there is because I decided to sit through all of it, and then Himitsu no Recipe. I don't remember what this is. It's a Yuri manga by the looks of it. Is this hentai? Maybe. Maybe it is. Yeah, I'm gonna check. Can I find the manga somewhere? I don't think it is. That would be funny if I just put some hentai manga on my list. Himitsu no Recipe. doesn't say it is. So I'm going to say that probably not. Oh no, it's just a very wholesome Yuri series. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a very wholesome Yuri series. Recommend it. I don't remember if it's any good. Brodie from years ago did think it was though. So I will take Brodie's opinion from 4 or 5 years ago when he read it. But yeah, that is my Kitsu profile. I do have a older My Anime list, but I don't remember what the account name was. Yeah, I don't I think I changed it from my original one, so I don't know if I can find it at this point. Yeah. I just found one of my friends from high school's profile. Wow. Wow, this is even cringier than wait, was that his account? Was that someone else? Oh no, that was the one. That was someone who had the same name. When was the last time you updated yours? What's on his? Ayase Kishimoto is his waifu. Okay. Wow, this hasn't been updated in so long. Wow, we we oh lord, so we have first season of Danmachi, High School DD specials, Steins Gate movie, Kaze no Stigma, such a shit thing. Mirai Nikki, really good, very edgy. Dead Leaves, good, edgy. Second season of Ruby, wow. Helsing, some High School DD. Wow, this is such an old list. Jesus. I'm gonna see if I can find some other people from years ago that probably haven't updated their thing in a long time. Oh, it's Punk Tim Tams. Punk Tim Tams. Let's see. What have you got on your list? Ah, nothing, basically. Absolutely nothing. Okay. What Hino of the Dawn? Let's find out. What is Hino of the Dawn currently watching as of 3 years ago? Yokai Apartment, really good. Wait. Wait, you've updated your list recently. Wait. Wait, you've updated your list recently. Are you still using this? December 4th. I'm guessing that means yeah, no, that's actually recent stuff. So you actually are still watching stuff. That's amusing. Haven't posted anything though. So, currently watching, you've got second season of New Fruits Basket. Arjin, okay. Pretty good. Jibaku Shonen. Only just now watching Cowboy Bebop. Okay, sure. Bungo Stray Dogs. Flip Flappers, that is a really good one. Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. That is a series that I highly recommend people checking out. That it's got a very weird name, but it is really, really good. What have you completed? Let's find out. Beastars. Let's even find something weird in here. I'm not seeing anything. I'm just seeing fairly normie friendly anime. That's a good one. Gaku and Handsome is a very weird series, but a entertaining one nonetheless. Now, this is a very, very normal list. Love Live. Yes. Perfect. Anyway, that's enough looking at people's anime profiles. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Yeah, what did you drop? That's a better question. Wait, why did you drop Keijo? You dropped Keijo? Hold up. You dropped Kobayashi-san Chino Maid Drag. You dropped fucking Maid Dragon, and You dropped NN no Shobo Tai, Fire Force, dropped Demon Slayer. What? Are you in? Do you have any taste? Do you have any taste at all? What's on hold? Urara Merocho is on hold. Kyokai no Kanata is on hold. Okay, fine. You didn't drop it. High School of the Dead is on hold. High School. Just finish. You've got 2 episodes left. Just finish off High School of the Dead. It's never getting a sequel. So just fucking finish it, mate. Finish it. Yeah. This person avoids me whenever I see them at cons. I don't know why. I'm not entirely sure why. It's not because I bully them about their anime profile. I don't know. Maybe I was a weird person back in high school, and there's a reason why they avoid me. I don't know. Anyway, yes. What do we have left? Oh yeah, I wanted to, before we end the podcast. I'm sure you heard about it if you pay it at all attention to any news at all. The greatest Australian comedian, the one and only Lewis Spears, made a joke about Prince Philip. The day he died. Not just the day he died, the hour he died, because he didn't realize he died. So what happened? He had this set where he was going to be roasting the royals, because in Australia, we don't care about the royals except to make fun of them. And he had this set because Prince Philip looks like a ghoul. At least looked like a ghoul. Now he probably looks more like actually probably more like a ghoul, to be honest. And he was telling this joke. Someone in the audience yells out, "He just died." During the middle of his Prince Philip set, someone yells out, "He just died." Fucking eToro ad. Another one. And he then went on to basically just continue. Actually, I can't show you really anything here. Yeah, someone I think hands him their phone. Yeah. Hands him the phone, like, and he starts like reading out like the cause of death. And everyone in the audience is fucking losing it, and they're cheering that he's died now. Obviously it's a bad thing that someone died, but holy shit, this timing. And the funny thing that happened with this is all of the Australian media who covered this basically didn't care, even going so far as some of them actually promoting his shows. So if you want to go see him in Melbourne right now, it's fucking impossible, because all of his shows are just sold out. And Lou is such a fucking legend with this. Like, his original plan to sell out his Melbourne shows was with the Sam Summers thing. So I did cover this recently. I think on the podcast and also the live stream. So there was the story about the guy who got his dick stuck in a what's the word called? A chastity cage, that one. The dude who got his dick stuck in a chastity cage because it was a smart chastity cage and someone hacked it. Now, this story was complete bullshit that Lewis made up. And it went viral. And on top of that one, during the middle of him doing his shows, now he's had this one on top of it. Holy crap, it's going to be hard to get Adelaide tickets when those go for sale. I'm so excited to go see Lou again. Like, I've got a poster up in my wardrobe that I obviously can't hang up because I'm in a share house. Up in my wardrobe that's signed by him. Actually, I think I've got 2 signed by him, actually. Honestly, my favorite comedian. I don't think there is anyone funnier in Australia. He is a fucking close to 7 foot tall, lanky boy, but hey, still a cool lad. Also, he dresses like a fucking biker, and he's the least threatening looking dude on the planet. But yes, if you haven't seen this video called I Tell a Prince Philip Joke, Then He Dies, I really recommend it because holy crap, it is funny. And then he did a follow-up video where he basically addresses, hey, look, it's another ad that's not a eToro ad. Now it's Thirsty Camel. He did a follow-up video where called My Response to the Media. Obviously didn't go anywhere near as viral as the Prince Philip one. But yeah, that's also good as well. Because he basically just goes over like all of the media response, the Australian media promoting him, the UK media being outraged. Actually, let's see if we can find the the BBC coverage of it. BBC Lewis Spears. Actually, we just BBC Lewis Spears. Here we go. Oh, this is from the express.co.uk. Moment Australian comedian jokes about Prince Philip's death, then is told he's dead. That's not a great title. Comedian Lewis Spears. Here we go. Here might be a fun one. Here we go. The embarrassing moment an Australian comedian learns of Prince Philip's death. Live on stage when he's in the middle of telling a poor taste joke about the Duke of Edinburgh. Oh, Lord. I love this. Moment comedian finds out Prince Philip is dead while mocking him during a set. The fucking face he pulled the second he found out, though. Just like, holy shit. Oh, yeah. He posted, like, he knew that it was going to go viral. He posted the clip the night the show ended because he wanted to get this out as quickly as possible. And it worked. It worked really well. Because people looking up Prince Philip's death were finding this video. And obviously that boosted up even further. It hasn't hit 1 million yet, which is really surprising. I thought it would have, but it's close to 1 million views. I think right now it's at like 970,000. Also, a lot of the like UK media and also US media as well says Lewis Spears has a very vulgar way of speaking. Basically, he speaks like an Australian. Like, he'll say cunt a lot because he's an Aussie, and that's how Aussies speak. And if you listen to an Australian comedian, it's fairly normal. Like, most Australian comedians do. A few of them don't just because they don't want to be lumped in trying to just sound like everyone else. So, like, Luke Kidgel, for example, does his own thing, and he doesn't really. But, yeah. Lewis, on the other hand, fully embraces it. Lewis is fully on board with it. Also, he's you've probably seen some of the things he's done in the past before, where he like tricked Rebel News into thinking that not just Rebel News. What's the CEO? Ezra Levant? Is that the CEO? Yes, the CEO of Rebel News or founder, CEO. I'm gonna say founder. I can't work out if he's the CEO anyway. Anyway, yes, he convinced Ezra Levant that he was the the leader of the Australian branch of Antifa. He didn't fact check this. He just ran with it. He's done so many other things like that. I honestly love Australian comedians because they are so up for just trolling the fuck out of the media. And they just keep falling for it. Like, some of the most obvious fucking stories, they just keep falling for. And they just keep selling more and more and more tickets for the comedian. I believe Lou is considered to be a serial pest by a lot of, like, that's the actual words they use. A serial pest. Which I think is a really good title. I would love to be known as a serial pest. That would be that'd be a great title to have that all of the news outlets just know me as. Brodie Robertson, serial pest. Lewis Spears, serial pest. Serial pest has a nice ring to it. I don't know what it is about that specific phrase, but there's just something nice about hearing it. Maybe it's just that there's some level of pleasure I get from knowing that certain people hate me. I feel like Lou's probably the same. That's probably why he does it. Yeah. We're closing in on 2 hours of the podcast. That has gone by so quickly. Honestly, I don't know what happened there. Wow. Like, usually the solo podcasts feel like they take a bit longer. Maybe it's just that, I don't know, maybe it's just that I'm not used to doing them as much anymore, so being by myself for this long, not having, a chat like I would in a live stream or anything like that, makes it, I don't know, makes it feel weird. But I think they're definitely good practice for the live stream because they definitely give me the ability to, um, you know, hold a conversation by myself when there's no one else. By myself when there's no one else. Yes, that would be by yourself. Hold a conversation by myself and try to keep it in an interesting sort of manner. Because in a live stream, for example, even though you will have a chat there, a lot of the time the chat's not going to be that active. So if you're, not able to actually hold that up, it sort of just falls apart. I think I've talked about this plenty of times before, but being able to do long form content like this without a chat really does help out with the podcast. And I think without having done 60 episodes of this podcast, I wouldn't be able to actually make the live stream content at the level that I think I'm making it. Obviously, it's still not anywhere near as good as people who are actually good at live streaming, but it's at least at a point where I can take what I've done and still make clips out of it that I actually think are good clips. So, I think that's going to be everything for this. As always, before I go, I would like to tell you a channel to go check out. Because we got on the topic of Australian comedians, another really good comedian I recommend checking out is Frenchie. His channel is Frenchie Sunger Attack. He used to be a English teacher, I believe. Maths teacher. He used to be a teacher. This guy. This guy right here used to be a teacher. And recent videos he's had his girlfriend, I don't know. He's had this girl called Demi in a lot of his recent videos, fully accepting that it's clickbait, just showing her tits to get as many clicks as possible, having things like a skipping rope tutorial where with her as the thumbnail. I'm not going to spoil what actually happened in the video, but what I'll say is it wasn't a skipping rope tutorial with her as the model. I presume the same thing's going to happen for the elbow touching one as well. I haven't seen that one just yet. But yeah, I highly suggest checking out Frenchie's channel. Really good content. Also, if you want some shitty Australian music, I recommend checking out his band as well, Frenchie and the Talent. Also on the same channel. He hasn't done a song in ages, but he's got some pretty banger tracks. All drinking. Shuey is a masterpiece. Goon. What more do I need to say? Goon and Football Drunk. Actually, no, he did release a song a year ago, yeah. So maybe we'll see something. And 8 months ago, Ruthless is actually really good. Yeah, I don't know what's happening in this preview. Yeah. Banger track anyway. Yeah. I recommend checking it out. It's good content. It's actually not. It's Australian good, so like it's a fucking train wreck, but it's a fun train wreck. You like get to watch the fire happen and you just accept it and enjoy it. That's pretty much how you describe it. So, yeah. I'm going to end the podcast. I think I've got one more video to plan for the end of the week, but I've got like a day and a half to plan it, and I want to get this podcast edited and stuff. I want to have everything done before tomorrow. That would be my ultimate plan. So then I can go into Friday and then go into the weekend having nothing I have to do, just stuff I can do if I feel like it. So before I go, actually, I do have a plan for a guest next week. I'm trying to get Tech Hut arranged. We'll see if that goes well. If it's not Tech Hut, I'm probably going to ask a guy known as Denshi. Denshi does interesting videos about Linux and IKEA furniture. Don't ask how the combination happens. I don't know either. I'm going to ask him if he wants to come on. He's a fairly small channel, but I think his content... Honestly, he's a small channel, but it's one of those guys that has a small channel, that you know is going to explode because they are just so good at presenting what they're trying to present. And he's so good. Like he mainly does sort of like skit stuff. And he is really good at it. So I feel like his channel will explode. It's just that he's in like this weird like half niche thing. Like he just does whatever he wants. And that's not a thing that YouTube really likes. So it's going to take like one video to blow up for a channel like that to actually take off. But I hope it does. Good content. I don't know why I didn't mention that channel for my shout out section. Regardless, good channel. Go check that one out as well. Before I go, I would like to thank my supporters. Where are my notes? There's my notes. Supporters, yes. So a special thank you to Joachim, Donald, Michael, Andrew, Nathan, David, Will. I do on through that. I'm not going to start it again. Brennan, Chico, Bento, Jamie, Joseph, Mitchell, Peter, D. Stephen, Tony, Chia, and all of my 2 little supporters. If you'd like to go support my work, there'll be links down below to my Patreon, subscribe star, LibrePay, all that sort of stuff. I've got this podcast available, the video version, on Odyssey and YouTube. If you're watching the video version, though, and you would like to see the audio version is available anywhere you can find audio podcasts. And yeah, if you happen to discover the podcast but not know about my main channel, the main channel is Brodie Robertson. I mainly do Linux content, and I've also got a gaming channel where I play video games. Fairly sensible. So main channel is Brodie Robertson. Gaming channel is Brodie Robertson Plays. There will be a rebrand at some point. Don't know when. Anyway, that's going to be pretty much everything for this. The lights are now green. And I'm out. Also, this chair is still very squeaky. And you may still not be able to hear it with the mic.